I haven't left my bedroom in an entire year. No one's gonna read this, but whatever. I am 22 years old, and when I was 20, I got diagnosed with a genetic disease which severely limits my mobility and ability to adapt to basically any changes in my environment. Daylight makes my eyes water and head hurt. Loud noises give me tachycardia and abrupt increase in blood pressure. I startle so easily that a mosquito standing on my arm unexpectedly can cause my legs to shake. Any type of food other than the limited range I can eat causes GI issues. I'm also malnourished. I am 5 feet 7 inches and weigh 90 pounds. Cold weather makes me cramp and spasm. Heat makes my heart rate drop to 40 BPM, and so on. I was a normal dude before this. Up until my 20th birthday, I was a full-time medical student with a scholarship at a prestigious university. I had friends and a normal daily life. In the past 2 years, I've gone from that to leaving my room only once every couple months to see a friend. The only person I live with, my 40-plus-year brother, is always at work, so I'm quite literally alone 24/7. To be completely honest, I wouldn't really enjoy spending time with him anyway. We don't have anything in common. I have only ever enjoyed socializing when it's about a specific shared interest I have with someone else. I try to use my time to do things I enjoy. I am a polyglot. I used this entire year to learn a new language, and now I can fluently speak it with natives in online settings. I've been learning pure math, and I really enjoy fiction/TV shows and, of course, animal biology. But, man, it's so hard to be alone 24/7. I miss my friends. I miss talking to people about cool stuff. I miss walking to the park and just sitting there chilling for a bit. I miss ordering takeout and having a horror movie marathon in my room. Sometimes I catch myself speaking to someone that isn't there, not like a hallucination, but I permanently picture myself telling someone about the stuff I like, or a fun fact about a TV show I'm watching. I have kind of become my own company, and keep creating characters to fulfill that role. Sometimes it feels like a hellish solitary confinement situation. I wish I was healthy. I really miss being young. Sorry about your condition. It's pretty impressive to become fluent in a new language within a year. Which language was it? I'm currently trying to learn Mandarin. What ongoing medical supervision do you have? Obviously, you never have to answer. I'd be concerned about your low weight. Hope things improve for you. Crossed fingers. Light skin tone. I have EDS and I know how you feel. Sad face. I am falling for my best friend's husband. This is a throwaway, and I don't want judgment nor advice, or I would have chosen another sub. I just want to exchange a few words with strangers, maybe strangers who've been in my shoes. I know this is not real love, but some type of trauma bond. My husband and I have been together for 17 years, married for 6. I have known my best friend for over 35 years. She's been married her husband for a bit over 5 years. I will call him Liam because I love that name. I found out through Liam that my husband was cheating on me with his wife. Not only that, I found out how much this woman has hated me all these years, and in hindsight I should have known because it was so obvious, but I was so blinded. I was always in her shadow, and she always resented me for having luck, when she is the better woman in everything. If you have been cheated on by your spouse, double the pain because of who he chose to betray you with. Suddenly you lose the 2 people you loved the most. We have been inseparable, the 2 of us, with our husbands becoming good friends through us. Maybe that was the mistake. Getting too close, but no, I refuse judging normal human friendships, because mine turned out to be rotten, but we did so many things together. Traveled once a year, bi-weekly dinners, and all major events we celebrated together. Daily contact with my best friend, and frequent contact in the group chat. I valued my best friend even more than my own family, because she was my family. Then Liam told me about the affair. It lasted for several months before I found out a year ago. Liam was someone who knew exactly what I was going through, because he was living it too. I found myself waiting for his calls on the bad days when I couldn't leave bed, but also on my UPS when I felt invincible, on top of the world, and that I could do this. For a year he's called me on a daily basis, sometimes just for a few seconds to say hi. We only met a few times in the beginning when the affair was just exposed, but realized very quickly that we couldn't see each other anymore, because I didn't want to do something stupid while very angry and vulnerable, and he totally agreed. His circumstances are different from mine. I could leave my husband the moment I knew. We are economically stable with no children. I just left and ignored his pleads, turned desperation, turned anger and threats. It doesn't affect me either that my husband is refusing to sign. We are separated, and everyone knows that, and why but for Liam and my best friend they have a toddler, and when he found out about the affair she was pregnant with her second. They both work to make ends meet. I feel shame that I have developed feelings for him. I know they're not genuine, but because he's someone I have known for years, and who I share a painful part of my life with. While his calls seemed very innocent and genuine, they are wrong. Even though he never flirted with me or I him. He seems to be more sure about his feelings, however, so that prompted me to tell him that we couldn't be grief friends anymore. He wanted to meet up and talk about it. When we met I just wanted to hold him and stay in his arms forever, but I know it is just because I feel so lonely and neglected. He told me that we could at least text each other sometimes about our lives. I told him that I couldn't be worse than the people who hurt us, because the only thing I have left is my respect for him and myself, and that I couldn't lose that. He was silent for a second and told he understood and wished me luck. I haven't been able to stop crying since. I feel a big hole in my heart, so big it feels like I am off balance right now. You can't go wrong by doing right. There is no win for you here. Are there questions about the paternity of baby number 2? I need to know how your friend reacted when confronted. What a nightmare. I'm sorry this happened to you, but if this is the deception they'll sink to, you are better off without them. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 years ago I proposed to my girlfriend. Remember being so nervous and excited. I posted on here because I hadn't told anyone was going to do, but wanted to tell the void, because I just couldn't keep it in. This woman was my everything. She made me stupid happy, and when she said yes that day I knew I had won at life. I must have done something wrong in a previous life though, because apparently being that happy wasn't allowed to be a long-term thing. I asked her to marry me because I wanted her to be my wife, didn't need a big wedding or anything fancy. Would have got married on the street corner if she would have agreed. But she wanted us to have something bit bigger than that, so we started saving. We had week away planned, couple concerts, and just some quality time together. Both of us had been so excited for this. We're due to go on the Monday for our trip. Saturday before it I had to work all day, physical labor job, and by time got home was so tired. We got our things sorted for our trip, and she kept saying she had bad headache. I told her it was probably just because it was so warm and she hadn't drank enough water. Gave her a kiss goodnight, and told her I loved her, then I crashed out. Her daughter woke me the Sunday morning as she usually does, so I got up and sorted her breakfast, and let my fiancé get a well-deserved lie-in. Went back in our room not long after got up, and quickly realized something was wrong. My whole world shattered. Most of the rest of that day is a blur. My son and her daughter had to listen as I screamed and tried in vain to save the most amazing woman in the world. I had to tell that little girl that day that her mom had gone and wasn't coming back. I woke up that day. She didn't. And there isn't a single day that has passed where I don't wish it was me instead. I woke up that day she didn't. That line hit me like a physical weight. I have no words, just a lot of sorrow for you and those children. I hope you're being kind to yourself today. I'm so sorry for your loss. Reading your post made me tear up, and I wish words would do a better job of bringing healing and comfort. What insurmountable pain. I'm sorry you are experiencing this, I truly am. Loneliness in marriage. I'm 33 male, wife is 32 female. Married for almost 2 years, together for almost 8. When I met her, she was living with a couple of roommates after college. They had a vibrant social life, and she was kind, attentive, and conscientious. We started dating, and the pandemic started shortly after we moved into an apartment together. She disengaged from most in-person social events, as did I, for a time, and I thought we were being responsible. After a year or two, I started to reconnect with some of my friends and go out more. She, on the other hand, seemed to lose most of her interest in making or maintaining her friendships. I chalked some of this up to her friend group splintering, people moving apart, a falling out between couples, another couple getting divorced, etc., and thought that she would eventually regain some lust for connection outside of our relationship. We let things develop, bought a house, and got married in 2024. This never happened, and she has only gotten more and more reclusive to the point that, for example, she has a visibly negative reaction to the prospect of even going out to a store with me and physically interacting with salespeople. When we have done things with other couples that I initiate, like dinner outings or concerts, she does somewhat interact and engages a bit in conversation, but never initiates. She just doesn't click with people or make any effort to connect. She comes off as rude and short with people who are just trying to be nice, and I've been asked once or twice if she doesn't like so and so because of her communications. Even when it's just the two of us, she barely talks. If I don't initiate and lead every conversation, we'll just sit in silence. There's little effort on her part, no humor, no cleverness, no interesting observations, just functional communication, e.g., we have the logistics of owning and maintaining a house down just fine. My attempts at the above are never reciprocated. She doesn't seem curious about me, or other people, or the world, and seems to have no interest in doing anything other than knitting, working, or reading books. I don't know if I've been going through my own kind of transformation, but this lifestyle is starting to become incredibly lonely for me, and I've felt a lot of resentment building over the past year as I watch friends and their partners engage vibrantly with each other and the world at large, while my wife and I just survive and conduct business as usual. I find myself longing for a connection with someone who is capable of a more curious, positive way of interacting with the world. We've been in marriage counseling for months, and I've expressed how lonely I feel. But what I take away is that she'll never be able to change, and I just need to find my own way to meet my needs. Deep down, I worry that I'll have an emotional affair one of these days. I'm absolutely ripe for it, as starved as I feel. She just started working on exploring herself and some childhood trauma she experienced, and is starting to wonder if she's on the spectrum. I think it's possible, and it could put a name to our disconnection, but it doesn't change the fact that it's unrealistic and unfair of me to expect her to ever change to accommodate my needs. I think we're heading for divorce, because I'm losing hope in the idea that we can both be happy together. I don't want to do it, because I meant my vows, but I also feel devastated by the thought of spending the rest of my life like this. If she sounds depressed, don't let her problems isolate you. Talk to a friend. Has she been to a doctor to see if she is potentially depressed? The lockdowns had a dramatic effect on the mental state of millions of people. Maybe she has been in decline since those times? She's clearly depressed. She's your wife. Help her to get treated.